It was the middle of autumn, and the small town of Harlow was buzzing with excitement for the annual fall festival. But just outside of town, past the old creek and deep into the forest, there was a place no one dared to go: the Whispering Woods. The locals spoke of it in hushed tones, sharing chilling tales of strange disappearances, eerie voices, and shadows that moved in unnatural ways. For years, the woods had been the source of many urban legends. Some said it was cursed, others believed it was haunted. But the one thing everyone agreed on was that no one who ventured too far into the woods ever returned the same, if they returned at all. Despite the warnings, four friends, Tom, Sarah, Mark, and Lily, decided to explore the Whispering Woods. They were thrill seekers, always looking for the next adrenaline rush. Halloween was approaching, and they thought it would be the perfect time to challenge the legend. "I don't believe in ghosts," Tom had scoffed when the others hesitated. "It's just a bunch of old stories to keep kids from wandering too far into the forest." Mark, the most skeptical of the group, had agreed. "It's just trees and shadows. What's the worst that could happen?" And so, armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, they set off. The plan was simple. They would enter the woods, hike to the center, and prove to everyone that the tales were nothing more than a myth. At first, the woods seemed peaceful enough. The trees were tall and thick, their branches swaying gently in the breeze. The ground was covered in a blanket of fallen leaves that crunched under their boots. The group laughed and joked, their nervousness slowly fading as they ventured deeper. But as the sun dipped lower in the sky, the mood began to change. The air grew colder, and an unsettling silence fell over the woods. The only sound was the rustling of leaves, but even that seemed distant, as if muffled by something unseen. "Do you hear that?" Lily suddenly whispered, her voice trembling. The group stopped. At first, they heard nothing but the wind, but then, faintly, they heard it, a whisper. It was soft, barely audible, like someone murmuring just beyond the trees. But when they turned to look, there was no one there. "It's just the wind," Mark said, though his voice lacked confidence. They continued walking, but the whispers grew louder. Now it wasn't just one voice, but several, overlapping, incoherent, but undeniably there. The whispers seemed to come from all directions, surrounding them, closing in. "Maybe we should turn back," Sarah suggested, her face pale. Tom shook his head. "No, we're almost at the center. We've come this far. We can't turn back now." Reluctantly, the others followed, but the whispers continued to haunt them, growing more intense with every step. The trees seemed to close in, their twisted branches reaching out like skeletal hands. Shadows moved in the corners of their vision, darting from tree to tree, but every time they shined their flashlights, there was nothing there. Then, without warning, the ground beneath them shifted. A thick fog began to rise, swirling around their legs, making it difficult to see. The whispers grew louder still, and now they could make out words. "Come closer, join us." "What the hell is happening?" Mark shouted, panic setting in. Lily grabbed his arm. "We need to get out of here. Now." But as they turned to leave, they realized something horrifying. The path they had taken was gone. The forest had changed. The trees, once familiar, now looked foreign and twisted. Every direction they turned led to more dense, unrecognizable woods. "We're lost," Sarah whispered, her voice shaking. "Just keep moving," Tom said, though his bravado was gone, replaced by fear. They stumbled through the forest, the fog thickening around them. The whispers were now a cacophony of voices.